time it is when you hear that music and you see Rocky running down the street. It's time for evening walk and talk. So the question I have for you is, what are you doing to improve your life or business today? Check in below. Leave a comment. Let me know. All right, let's flip this camera around and get the show on the road. Getting a late start today. It is already bedtime. It's 8 o'clock. And my monkey mind was saying, you don't have to go walk tonight. But I know that's a lie. That's like what I was talking about today on one of my videos that I did. Your old self will try and come back and drag you back in, just like the crabs dragging you down in the bucket. I had a meeting after work with a potential client, and then I ate dinner. I made a really good dinner. I made lamb and rice and lentils. It was so good. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't start my watch. I always forget. Come on, watch. Come on. So slow. There we go. Come on. All right, it started. I actually have my music playing. So I figured out if I'm playing music on my Bluetooth headset, then you can't hear it in the phone. So let me turn off my Bluetooth headset. So I watched the first part of my video from this morning, and I learned that when Spotify is playing on my watch through my Bluetooth headset, I cannot hear the music playing on the audio. Oh, what's going on? My phone disconnected again. I really need cutting right through me. Okay. There we go. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, got the phones going. Oh, I didn't put my hoodie up. Woo-hoo-hoo. It is chilly today. Last night I was kind of warm with this heavier hoodie on. That won't be the case tonight. It is definitely a little bit chillier tonight. So I've got my playlist loaded up on my Bluetooth. I mean on my Spotify for working out. So they will be closed from January 12th to January 16th. So I can't come to the gym on those days. That's a bummer. I'll just have to work out at home. Hello.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Joe?
If you're using the treadmill at all, I have to go next door and put the juice on.
Oh no, I'm not using a treadmill. I do outside walking, even though it's cold out.
No, but you waited here the other night working out.
No, I use the weights.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't use a treadmill.
All right, okay.
It's too boring for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather walk outside. Where's the juice for that? Where's the power for the treadmill?
It's in.
Oh, but it's like off or?
Well, somebody keeps turning it off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, every time I used it in the past, it tripped.
You know,
That's why I decided I'd just rather walk outside. So it's donut day tomorrow.
everybody in there was here. I put my money.
Oh yeah.
Everybody in there was here. Diabetes.
Oh,
They eat sugar like it's crazy.
oh I know.
I don't use sugar here. It's, I mean, even regular sugar, they pour into their coffee or tea.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all they do is just take it and just pour it. I mean,
Really?
it's sick. Oh, yeah. I have no idea what these people are going to be like in a little while.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of sugar, but every once in a while I like a treat.
Once a month, I have sugar. And donut.
Yeah.
I get my donuts, they sent me, and I have it with a cup of coffee.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what I do.
You can't find cake, cookies, or anything in my house.
No.
Nothing.
That's good.
Yeah, oh yeah. Are you kidding?
I use stevia in my coffee.
What do you use?
Stevia?
Okay, yes, I know what it is. Okay.
It's more like a natural.
Yeah, yeah.
Oop. Okay, got my water. Going out for patrol.
That's what my job is.
Okay. Got my water. Now I'm ready to do my steps. I got 2 5-gallon jugs of water in my car. But I haven't brought them in the house yet. And I ran out of water today. Woo, woo, woo. It's like being in the north again. Or the East Coast. That wind. Woo. I should have. Oh, I do have my scarf, do I? Yes, I do. Now I can wrap the scarf around my face. Cut that wind from blowing right in my face. Gotta get the second side up. If I can find it. It's underneath my hoodie. Okay. So now I got my muffler on. It's like winter. There we go. So now the wind won't blow right into my mouth when I'm talking. So, like I was saying, I'm going to cinch my hoodie up too. Is that the right cord? There they are. I think this is the coldest yet. And all the times I've been out walking. So I'm all wrapped up. Good thing I have my scarf and my gloves. So, like I was saying earlier, as soon as you try and make a change in your habits, like walking or eating better, the old version of yourself is going to pop up and say, hey, remember me? You're that lazy guy that doesn't go out and walk. You're that guy that likes to eat a pound of chocolate. And tries to pull you back in. So I could have easily sat at my computer and said, oh, I'm tired, and screwed around on the internet or worked on a coding project, and then I wouldn't have walked. And then I probably would have stayed up late anyway, because I'd be all fired up. So I said, nope, got to go out and walk. My people, my subscribers, my viewers are going to be saying, where's Wayne? He's not walking today. He's not live streaming today. Even if you don't watch me every day for the whole live stream, I know you're still watching to see if I walk. Because you guys are my accountability buddies. And you're going to be like, where's Wayne? Well, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm battling the cold weather. And then I'm going to go do my dumbbell workout. And I'm going to check that off the list for today. So tonight I met with a lady that liked my automation post that I did about automating email. And she wanted to learn more about automation. So we had a good chat. So I told her, like I tell you, my viewers, that if you want to automate anything, first you got to get your business processes documented. Because unless we know what we're automating, then it's going to take a lot longer and cost a lot more money. So the best thing you can do is start documenting your procedures. So basically you want to look at your steps in your business and figure out, like, what's the repeatable pattern, you know? Where do your leads come from? How do you capture your leads? What do you do with your leads? So, for instance, with my Legal Shield business, I purchased some leads. And I can download all those leads as a CSV file. And then I bring them into my spreadsheet. And then once they're in my spreadsheet, I can start putting more data about that lead in my spreadsheet. So one of the first things I do is I take a block of 25 and and I put them into my texting program, which runs on my computer, but it talks to my Android phone. And I copy and paste each phone number into the text program. And then I take the same message that I always send and I pop it in this message field, and then I send it out. So that's my procedure. So if I was going to automate that, I would have to, first of all, see what can be automated. There's always going to be some manual step, like, like downloading the CSV. Like, it's not that hard, and it's probably not worth trying to automate that, because it only happens, once in a while. Say you buy leads every month. Well, that's not a big deal. That's just a standard procedure that someone has to do. In this case, it's me. So I download that file, put it in a certain folder, name it a certain type of way, because if you're going to automate the import of that data, then you want to use a standard naming convention. So you may name it, with a date and where the leads came from. And then if you always name your file that way, then you can write a standard routine for automating that. For instance, at work, Eric wanted to have a way for the students to report their progress. So I created a spreadsheet that we could give to each one of the students, and they could fill in the data into certain fields, and then when they turn those in, I created another spreadsheet which consumes all that data. So as long as the spreadsheets that students turn in are in a certain folder, then that data can be imported into the master spreadsheet. And then the master spreadsheet is like a dashboard. You can look at it and see all the different people and all the answers. And that saves a lot of time, right? Because let's say you got 10 to 12 answers. Well, somebody would have to copy and paste each one of those answers into the master spreadsheet. Or they just wouldn't do it. They would just have to open each file and look at each spreadsheet. So anytime you find yourself, I'm gonna get a sip of water. Anytime you find yourself doing a repetitive task, So I got some hot water from the clubhouse. I mixed it with the cold water. And it's still warm. So that's good. It's not going to stay warm for long out here, though. So anytime you find yourself doing a repetitive task over and over, then that's a good case for automation. And maybe it's just a little script that you run once a month, you know? It's a little program that you run once a month. But if it can save you 20 minutes or an hour or more, then that's worth automating, right? So like I was telling this lady that I was talking to, this is her business. And when she bought this business from someone else, the system was really archaic and it was hard to use. But she's modernized it and she's using MailChimp and another piece of software, and she, she's automated what she can using those tools. But maybe she wants to do more automation. And sometimes you need to change your process in order to automate. So you may be doing it a certain way right now, but after we talk and I listen to what you're doing, I'm going to see it from a different angle. The process of automating could start a lot earlier in the process. So like, how do you acquire your first customer? Or how do you acquire their data in the first place? Right? Let's say they come to your website and they fill out a form. Well, where does that form data go? Does it go to your inbox? Does it go into a database? Well, if it went into a database right off the bat, then you could have a trigger that fires as soon as that information, as soon as the person hits submit on the web page. It can kick off a whole series of actions. It could send out emails. It could put them on an email list. It could create a certain structure, a certain data structure or text fields in the database that you're going to need later on. So a lot of times it's evaluating your SOP and seeing what is it exactly that you're trying to accomplish, because you may be doing a lot of unnecessary steps, or you may be doing totally wrong things to begin with. Like there's one lady that's bringing her business up to speed, and for years and years and years she's been doing trade shows, and she's been having people fill out paper forms. And then the only thing that she would do is she would copy down that paper form. She would copy down the phone number from that paper form and stick it in a Word doc on her computer. So she's literally got years worth of phone numbers with no names, no emails, just a phone number. So once you start a bad habit and you continue that bad habit for years, now you've worsened the problem. So you're trying to fix something that could have been fixed in the very beginning, right? So she could have copied all that data from the paper form into a spreadsheet. Now she's got something valuable. So now she's having to spend a lot more time trying to figure things out after years of doing it the wrong way. But, a lot of people aren't tech savvy, and they don't understand the importance of keeping data organized. I'm even at fault in that area, because for many years I didn't have all my customers in a database, and I probably missed out on a lot of business because of that. Let's see how many steps I've walked. 25. Okay, so one more lap, and then I'll go in the clubhouse and warm up and do my workout. So especially if you're a new business, it's worth figuring this stuff out right now. And luckily, we live in a much more technical, savvy world. But still, in the rush of business, and just trying to do the actual business and get stuff done, you don't always do it the proper way. So it's good to talk with someone like me that can analyze what you're doing and then figure out some best practices for you and help you automate it. So if you go to ApacheBusinessSolutions.com and you schedule a time to chat with me, then your information is going straight into my database. So, at least with that business, I'm getting started off on the right foot, right from the beginning. So, and if your main intake source is people calling you, then you want to have a way to capture that data. And that's what I'm doing. I'm setting up systems so wherever the data comes in from, I have a place to put it. And that's in my knowledge base, which is just a set of text files. But at least if it's all in one standard location, I can do a search and I can find that information. But if I got stuff scattered all over the place, then that really doesn't do me any good. And then in the text files, it has to be labeled in such a way that it's findable. So even like, in my daily activities, I find myself wanting to abbreviate something instead of spelling it out. But I know that that's not going to make a good search. So I always correct myself in the process. So for instance, if I say added Facebook friend, well, I may just abbreviate Facebook to FB, right? And then sometimes I spell it out. So that's not going to be good for search results. Now there's ways around that, but you could search for both. But it's good to have a standardized way of capturing your data. Or if you're going to shortcut it, like I'll shortcut when I'm calling people, and let's say I'm using a spreadsheet to take notes about the calls I make, then I always use LM for left message, right? And if I talk to them, I write talked. And then if they're not interested, I put not INT. So as long as you use the standard naming convention every single time, then you can automate stuff and program results. Like I could literally go to my knowledge base right now and say, show me all the people that I added on Facebook. And I would get a search result showing all the Facebook profiles that I've added since I started doing it. Because in addition to making a note of saying added on Facebook, I also put their profile link in the text message and the text file in my knowledge base. So now I can literally do a search across all the files for the past 4 months, and I can find every single Facebook profile. Now you may ask, well, Wayne, why would you want to do that? Well, what if Facebook shuts me down for some reason? Now I've lost months and months worth of data that I built up. And at least if I have a text file with all of their contact info, then at least I can go find them again. Hello. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
It's a little cold out there, huh?
It is. But I'd much rather walk in the cold
Are
than...
you waiting on this?
No.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I'd much rather walk in the cold than walk on that.
Oh, well, don't mind the cold. There's a wind. It's bad tonight.
Yeah. That's why I have my scarf on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty windy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna lift some weights. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna unbundle here. Okay, I'm gonna go do my workout, and I'm gonna listen to my music here. So, see you later.